Hello and welcome to Cozy Pre-Ballet with Miss Christine, and welcome to my living room. I wanted to teach class today in my house so that way you can help create a dance space for your child at home. This class is for 3 to 6-year-olds. Some elements might be easy for your dancer, some elements might be challenging for your dancer, but the important thing is your kid's going to be moving about and having fun. I recommend doing this video in the morning. Dance is a great way to start the day. Now I have a few props I'm going to use today and I just want to show you. I'll be using a mat today since I am on a hardwood surface to teach class. It's not required, maybe a blanket, or if you're already on carpet, great. So I'll be bringing out the mat. For shoes, I will be wearing my shoes, and if your dancer doesn't want to wear their shoes or they don't have shoes, socks will be just as good. And my favorite socks are cows, are my little cow socks. So wear a fun pair of socks for class. So normal ballet shoes or socks will do just fine. Get 2 to 3 of your dancers' favorite stuffed animals. We'll be using these today to help us stretch and to help us dance today. Also, there's a tennis ball or a rubber ball to help warm up our feet. We're going to warm up our feet with tennis balls today at the beginning of class. It's not required. So if you don't have one, no big deal. You can even just use a normal foot roller if you have one, or even a can of soup. But I always like to get my students' feet warmed up before we start moving around. Also a dishcloth, hand cloth. That's not too big. We're going to use these for another foot exercise. I call it Hungry Hippo Toes. If you don't have a cloth this size, maybe an old t-shirt you don't want to wear anymore, that will also work. And then last, and this is again, if you don't have one, it's not a big deal. We're going to be using a yoga block to help us balance today. We can also balance on the floor, but if you have one of these, it kind of adds an extra element of fun for the kids and a challenge. Okay, so I'm going to put some of these props to the side. Didn't realize I had so many. And what we're going to start with is our tennis balls. And I'm going to stand a little bit close to the screen so that way everyone can see what we'll be doing. So we'll stand with our feet out, and we're going to take a ball and you're going to put the foot underneath the ball. I'm going to make sure I'm on the screen, and we're just going to move the ball just forward and backward and put some little pressure. I really like this because it also keeps our tiny dancers focused, and we don't want to lose the ball. Yes, good. If we can, maybe little circles. This might be challenging for our really little tiny dancers, but yet again, it's a good challenge. Okay, here. For our second foot, I'm going to face forward so the kids can see my feet this way. Yeah, a little pressure, but not too much. Feels so good. If we can, little circles. And then reverse if we can. If this is too difficult for your dancer, they can continue just going back and forth. Yeah. Very nice. I hope everyone was able to do that. Now we're going to do our Hungry Hippo Toes. So you're going to take your cloth or your old t-shirt, put it on the ground, and your dancer is going to stand behind. I'm facing this way so the kids can see it. You're going to put the toes at the end, and we want our toes to be grabbing the cloth, right? It's like it's going to be chomping on the cloth, chomp, 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 okay? And sometimes my kids say chomp, chomp, chomp when we do that. So I'll say chomp, chomp, chomp for this foot. Ready? Okay, make sure everyone's cloth is set down, and let's go. And chomp, chomp, and you want to pull the cloth towards you. Chomp, chomp, keep going, and you want them to keep going until they're almost finished or halfway finished. This is just really to get the feet warmed up. It's okay if you can't complete it. At least we're warming up the feet, and that's the important part. Great. Of course, since I'm older and my feet are bigger than your dancers, I can complete it. Okay, I'm gonna do the next foot facing this way to give you another angle. So we're gonna put the toes here. Oh! Toes at the end. Okay, get ready. And 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna chomp. Keep going. Pull that cloth towards you. And again, this is gonna be challenging for some kids. So it's okay if they can't get that cloth. And some kids have really tiny feet, so they're probably not gonna be able to put the whole cloth underneath, and that's totally fine. Good. Now our toes should be awake. Are your toes awake? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we just finished our foot warm up. This is a time where we're gonna put on our ballet shoes, and if you want, you can take out your yoga mat and get your favorite stuffed animal. Okay, all right, I'm gonna get set up as well for class. I'm gonna make sure you all can see me. Good, I think that's good. And I'm gonna be facing on a diagonal so that way the kids can really see me. They're not gonna be able to really see my feet and everything that I'm trying to show this way. So I'm going to be on a diagonal as we do our little mat warm up. Wanna make sure I have the correct shoe on the correct foot. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Forgot Lola. Okay, so we're gonna sit nice and tall. We're gonna keep our legs nice and long. And we're gonna put our friend right in front of our feet so we can say hello with our feet. So we're gonna sit nice and tall. We're gonna put our hands on our hips, and when we point our toes, it's like we're saying hello to our friend. And we're gonna flex and say goodbye. And we're gonna do that again, and full point, and flex. Let's pretend that we're pushing through marshmallows. Yes, no rush. Good, let's try to do that with our arms out. Very good, keep that back nice and tall, and full point, and flex, and full point, and flex. And if you notice, I'm trying not to look down. It is so tempting to look at my llama, but I want to keep my back nice and tall, so I'm not gonna look down at the floor. Well, as much as I can. Good, we're gonna put our hands back on the hips, and let's flex one foot and keep the other foot pointed. And we're going to switch, and switch, and switch. Good. And switch. And let's flex both feet. Good. Is your back still nice and tall? Let's bring our arms up. And we're going to reach up and over and grab onto the toes. Oh my goodness. I love this stretch. You should feel a nice stretch right here. Now, if your dancer can't touch their toes, have them hold onto their ankles or mid-calf. You just want to keep those legs nice and long and feel that connection on the floor. And if your dancer wants more of a challenge, maybe see if they can reach a little bit more, and they can even lift up their heels. And down. Very nice work, everybody. And this is when we shake up the legs. Great. Now we're going to bring in the knees. And we're going to still sit up nice and tall. We're going to put our left hand on our left knee and right hand on the right knee. We're not going to cross right now. We're going to keep the hands separated. So that way our backs can still be as straight as possible. And right now we're going to point our feet, but our big toe is still going to stay connected to the ground. So let's point. And we're going to pretend a little mouse is going underneath our heels and down. Good. Let's do that 3 more times. And up, full point, sit up tall. Let's pretend we're balancing a teacup on top of our head and place down. And full point and down. And full point and down. Very nice. What we're gonna do next is our flower. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna point our feet and we're gonna bring our arms to first. And yes, you get to bring your head down and we're gonna extend the legs out and the arms will go to high fifth together. So just watch me first and up, hold, tall back, long legs, and in. Okay, let's do that 4 times together. So arms in first, head down, but not too down, just a little. Ready, and open up. I'm gonna pretend I'm a sunflower, and in. And out, long legs, and in. And are you still pointing your toes? And out, and in. And out. And we open up the petals a little bit more to complete the bloom. Very nice, dancers. Good work. Is your buddy still with you? Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is tabletops. Hopefully they could still make sense on a diagonal. I still want your dancers to be facing the TV. So we're gonna go in table position, hands and knees on the ground, and we're gonna keep our backs flat. So I want dancers to pretend that they are trying to balance a tray of tea on their backs. So back is flat, we have nice long necks. Now we're gonna go into cow position, and this is when we get to relax the hips. That's it. Relax the hips. Your hands are underneath you, not here, but here. So hands underneath. Now from cow, we're gonna go to cat. We're gonna scoop the tummy with an ice cream scoop, and the back is gonna reach towards the ceiling. Good, now let's go back to that tabletop position. Balance the tray of tea. Good, and then from there, let's go to cow, relax. A lot of my dancers at my studio love the cow position. And then we're going to cat. They also like cat because they go scoop that tummy, and let's balance the tray of tea. Let's go back to tabletop. Let's do that one more time. So we'll start with cow, and this is when my students will go moo. So if you want to go moo, you absolutely can make the animal noise. And then we can go to cat. If you want to make a cat noise, go for it. Work that tummy, and then tabletop. Good. Very nice, everybody. Okay, we're gonna go into Secand Splits, and I'm gonna keep my mat where it is, but I'm gonna face the screen. Oh, I'm out of frame, and I'm going to have to move Lola somewhere. She'll go over there. I might be out of frame. Hopefully everyone can see my legs and my feet. So when your dancer's legs are out, let's make sure their backs are nice and tall. You don't want the knees to be rolling in. You want the knees to be at least facing the ceiling. I should say kneecaps. Kneecaps should be facing the ceiling or rotating back. Some children are still working on their turnout, so it's a really hard concept, but if we can at least get them to not roll forward, that's great. And then also, I really want the feet to be as pointed as much as possible, right? So we're gonna keep that nice long line from hip to big toe. So let's find that position right now. Balance that teacup on top of your head. Good. And from here, let's just flex the feet. And full point. Again, we're gonna pretend we are pushing our feet through marshmallows. And flex. And full point. And flex. And full point. And flex. And full point. Now we're gonna keep those feet pointed, keep those legs nice and long, and we're gonna bring our arms to first position. Tummies in, and let's bring our arms out to second. No droopy elbows. Good, you want the water to trickle down from your shoulder off your fingertips and arms to first. Let's do that again. We're gonna move the arms as if they're moving through water, and we'll bring the arms back to first position. Good, let's open up again. And back to first. Let's place the hands on the floor. Now, when we push forward for our stretch, let's make sure the knees, once again, are not going to turn in. I want let's challenge the dancers, kneecaps to the ceiling at least, or rotating back. Ready? And let's just push forward. Let's keep our legs in place. And it's okay if your child can only go here, here. They don't have to go all the way down. But if their legs stay in place, then they can go a little bit farther. And if you want to stop the video so that way they can stretch longer, please do so. And if you want to push them a little bit more, and we're going to come back up. So to complete our floor stretching, we're gonna do mermaids. So we're gonna get in our mermaid position. And again, we're gonna keep that back nice and tall. And we're gonna put our arms out. Good. Now, if there's energy from your shoulder to your fingertips, we're not gonna put the fingertips on the ground, a couple inches off. So we're gonna take our first arm. It's gonna be my right arm. If you're mirroring me, it's gonna be your left arm. And we're gonna bring the arm up, look at your fingers, and place down. Good, let's do that again with the same arm. An arm up and down. Are you still keeping your back nice and stretched? And up and place down. Let's do that one more time. And up and place down. What we're going to do next is we're going to bring the arm up one more time. And the hand that's in the air, we're going to bring the hand up, down and across. And then release and down. Good, let's do that 3 more times together. And up. And let's bring the hand across the face. And softly release and down. Good. Let's go again. And up. And around. And up. And place. Last time. And up. And this time, pretend you're going to grab a little bird. And you're going to take the bird across. The bird's going to sing you your favorite song. And now release. And place. Very nice. Let's switch our feet. Okay, give our leg a rest. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Again, we're sitting like a mermaid. Let's pretend we're sitting on a rock on a beautiful sunny beach. Okay, arms out. Good, now we're gonna do 4 times with our left arm coming up. Remember, nice and soft movements. And up. And place down. Good. And up. And down. Nice and tall. Good. And don't forget about our other arm. Our other arm is still working. It's going to stay nice and stretched. Don't drop it. Okay, last time, just going up and place down. Great. Now we're going to add our extra movement. And up. Bring that hand around. Frame the face. And we're going to delicately release the arm. And down. Good. 3 more times. And up. And around. And release. And place down. Good. Good work, dancers. Keep it up. And around. And up. This is our last time. This is when we get our bird. We're going to reach up. I'm going to pretend I'm going to get a blue jay. The blue jay is going to sing in my ear. And then release. And down. Before we get up, let's do butterflies. So I like to tell my dancers, put your peanut butter or almond butter or your favorite cheese on one foot. And then you could put jam, lettuce, or turkey on the other foot and stick them together. Now, some teachers teach this with their students' arms crossed. That's totally fine. I also teach with just, the hand on, each hand on a different, on the same foot. Left hand on the left hand on the left foot, right hand on the right foot. It is, different studios teach different ways, and they all help out students. But today, we're going to hold on to the middle of the feet. We're going to keep our back nice and tall. Let's be careful not to hold on to our toes. Yes, middle of the foot, and that way the feet can stay aligned. And we're just going to wake up those hips. And yes, this is when I would ask my dancers, where are we flying off to today? And most of the time they say Disneyland or Hawaii. That's usually during like spring and summertime they'll answer that. And then during the winter and fall, they like to say Tahoe. That's it. And we're still keeping our backs nice and stretched, dancers. We're still balancing that teacup on top of our heads. I like to say balance your teacup on top of your head because they know it's something delicate and they don't want it to fall on the ground and break. Okay, very nice floor warm up, everybody. So this is when we're gonna get up and we're gonna roll up our mats. So we're gonna help each other out. And this warm up, like I said, is for 3 to 6 year olds. And if your dancer has a sibling that wants to partake, I hope they do. Maybe, maybe we'll inspire them to take a class with their sibling that dances. Okay, all right, put my mat away. And this is where, oh, can you still see me? Oh boy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna stand with our feet together and we're gonna put our hands on our hips and we're just gonna do head isolation. So this is just about moving our head and not disrupting our shoulder and hip connection. Okay, so we're gonna look over to the right and forward. And look over to the left and forward. Once again, to the right and forward and to the left and forward. Good concentration, everybody. Now the next thing we're gonna do are my toe touch exercises. Yes, we are gonna touch our toes by leaning over, but I like to do some fun, challenging ones. So the first part we're gonna do is our starfish toe touch. So we're gonna put our feet in second position, and your second position can be as big, not too big, but it can be a little bit smaller for your dancer to help their balance if it's a little too challenging for them. So we're gonna stand with our feet separated in a second position, arms out, and we're gonna touch our toes and up. Good. And touch our toes and up and touch and up. That's it. Good. Let's try to keep our legs nice and stretched. One more time to the right and one more time to the left. Good. Now we're going to put our feet in parallel. Same thing in parallel now. So touch our toes and up. And opposite hand to foot. Up and up and down. Now we're going for a little something more challenging. So we just touched our toes. Now we're going to reach back and touch our ankles. So reach, touch your ankle, and up, and ankle, and up. That's it. And ankle. Good. And ankle. Very good. Very nice, everybody. Okay, this is when we're going to get our yoga blocks, if you have one. If you don't have one, the floor is going to work out just fine. Okay, so we're going to put our yoga block on. Good, and our dancers are going to keep their hands on their hips. Oh, make sure you can still see me. And we're going to put our, let's start with our right foot. We're going to put our right foot and we're going to step up and we're going to bring our foot. We can start at coupe and just hold there. And if it's easier, they can put their arms out. and let's step off. Very nice. Let's try the next foot and up. Whoop. And let's bring the foot up to coupe. And again, if your dancer is really little, maybe hold on to their hand, or they can do the airplane arms, as I call it. It's almost second, but I let my students expand their fingers. And off the block. Okay, we're gonna do now the same, almost the same bounce, but now we're gonna bring our foot up to retire. That means we're gonna bring our foot up to our knee. Doesn't have to be a high retire position. We still wanna make sure those hips are gonna stay even. So, foot up, and we're gonna put that foot up to the knee. And now this is too challenging for your dancer. Maybe put, whoop, maybe put a chair beside or hold on to their hand. My little kids love a challenge, so they love doing bouncy blocks. That's it. And we're gonna bring the foot down and step off. Okay, next foot, and up. And let's bring the foot all the way up to retire. This is when airplanes arms really help out. And down and place. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. And what we're gonna do next is, let's see who knows how to do a tendu. I like to do tendus first before pliés at the floor. So our tendus, so tendus means to stretch out. And I always have my students have their hands on their hips. If they are in a higher pre-ballet class, I have their hands on their shoulders. So if they want more of a challenge, I suggest putting their hands on their shoulders. If not, hands on the hips. So feet in first position. Good, and make sure we're not going to over-rotate dancers. No duck wobbling. So let's put our feet together. We're gonna keep our feet nice and flat as we open up to first. Good, let's just do that a couple more times before we begin our tendu. So feet together and open up to first. Find that nice rotation at the top of the hip and back together. And full rotation. And out. And full rotation. Good, so we're gonna start with our right leg and we're gonna pretend our legs are pencils. And we're gonna draw a line with our big toe. Let's make sure that working toe is matching our supporting toe so that way the hips stay aligned. And we're going to erase what we just drew on the floor. Good, let's do that 3 more times. And out. And erase. That's it. And full stretch out. And erase. And out. Let's make sure that when we close, we go back to that same first position that we started with. And out. And in. Good. Let's try the next leg. And out. And big first position when we close in. That's it. Try not to wiggle, dancers. And out. And in. Big first. And out. Erase that line. And again, parents, your dancers can hold on to a chair if this is too hard for them to do in center. Very nice, everybody. Let's just do a little plie. Good, and speaking of plies, we're gonna do that right now. So let's start in parallel position or 6th position, depending at your studio. And I'm actually gonna do this with my fingers on my shoulders because I know a lot of my students dance that way. Other schools also teach that way as well. But there's no, there's different ways to teach the arts. Okay, so we're gonna put our arms in en bas, arms to first, and fingers on the shoulders. Keep that back nice and tall. Let's just do 3 demis in parallel. I do demis in parallel because this is more about the back placement, going up and down. I like to get my kids used to going up and down, keeping their posture as best as they can. Good, now remember, we're gonna keep those feet nice and flat. Let's rotate to first, and let's go plie. And stretch up, legs nice and stretched. Good, and plie. And up. Are your big toe, pinky toe, and heel on the ground? Keep those feet planted. And up. Now, if your dancer already knows second, they can tendu out and place. And if your dancer's arms are getting too tired, they can put their hands back on the hips right now. And I'm going to do that as well, so that way the kids can see that they can switch their arms if they need to. And up. And when we plie dancers, let's make sure that our knees are going over the feet. We're not rolling, right? We got to anchor our pinky toes. And plie. We're actually going to do 4 plies in a second. And up. And plie. And up. Now I know every school is different. Sometimes students learn 5th position early, and sometimes they wait when they're a little bit older. So I'm going to go in between today. We're going to tendu our right foot, and we're going to close to 3rd position. Good, it's not quite to 5th, but at least we can practice some crossing of the upper leg. Yes, so nice long legs. Good, and once again, we're going to go plie, and stretch up, and plie, and up. Stay in that toaster when you plie. Don't stick out your bottom, no burnt toast. Nice long legs. Now the leg that's in back, we're going to do our best to tendu out, keeping our supporting leg nice and stretched, and out, and 3rd position. Good. That's it. Stand up nice and tall. Let's find our position before we begin, and let's go plie, and up, and plie. Stretch those legs. Show me nice strong stance. Good. Last one, and plie. And up. Good. Very nice, everybody. Okay, before we go across the floor, let's just shake it out. Shake it out. I like to do a game called red light, yellow light, and green light. And this is a fun game. You can do it any time of the day. I like to play a fun song for the kids. It's almost like freeze dance, but it's more about stop and go and going slow in between. So what you'll do is they can stand in parallel, they can stand in first, they can stand any way they want, and you would say green light, and they run. So let's all do green light. Let's run, run, run. And red light. Good, let's do it again. And green light, and we're running. And red light. And green light. Now we're gonna do my favorite run. Keep going, dancers. And yellow, and run slow. And run slow. And run slow. Whoa. And run slow, and stop. Red light. Hold it, and green light, run. And yellow light, slow. And slow, and slow, hold. I like to do this in between floor work and going across because it gives the kids just, a fun little break, and they still have to concentrate with the demands, and they get a balance out of it. Okay, good. I hope you all enjoyed that. Now, we're gonna go across the floor, and this is when we need our stuffed animals or our favorite toys. Depending on your space, maybe you'll have space for 3 toys, maybe you have space for, more than that, less than that. Today I'm gonna just do 3, that way everyone can see. Now, my llamas are spaced pretty closely. If you have a bigger floor space than I do, then you can spread them out even more. But a fun little game I like to do across the floor is berets into first position. This is just a basic combination that I work with 3.5-year-olds to 4-year-olds. So if they're older, you can you can change up the feet positions if you want to give your dancer more of a challenge. So I start behind just behind the llama just a little bit, and we're gonna beret. Everyone's all beret. Flutter those feet. Flutter, flutter, and go to first. Very nice. Now we're gonna beret to the next one. Beret. And when you get to the next toy, big first. Yes, this is not first position. First position, everybody. And again, and beret. And place. Now, if you don't have a big floor space, this is when you can have the dancers turn around, and then you just go back. So I'm gonna start a little bit behind, and we're gonna go all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and beret. And to first. Good, let's go to the next one, and beret. And first. And beret. And first. Excellent. Okay, so the next thing is ballet ballet marching. So ballet marching, I call it different from soldier marching. It's not like Nutcracker. Ballet, for ballet marching, we're going to bring our foot up to Retiro, but we're going to try to delicately place our feet on the ground. So I'm actually going to change the music. Wrong CD. Okay. So we'll start a little bit behind our llama. I have to because my chair is back there. So hands on the hips. Again, if your dancer is a little bit older, you can challenge them by telling them to bring their arms to first, or hands on, or fingers on the shoulders. Okay, so we're gonna stand feet in parallel and we're just gonna go up. And we get to the llama, let's do an elevate. That's a rise up without a plie. And let's elevate. And place down. Good, let's go to the next llama and up, up. Bring those feet up to the knee. And we're gonna elevate up, feet together. And press down. Good. Let's go our third one and up. And we're gonna elevate and down. Good, let's go back. Okay, ready? And up, 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 and elevate up. Are we still balancing that teacup on top of our heads? Don't look down. And next llama, up, up. Try not to make a sound as we do our ballet marching. And place down. And we're gonna hit retire, 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 retire. Feet together and up, down. Now, if you have a smaller space than I do, here's a way how you can still have your kids move about. So what I would do, if you only really have space for two, I would have your child start a little bit behind a llama and just march. And they get to the first llama and they'll elevate up, down. And then they'll go to the second one. And we'll go up and down. Now they're gonna walk around this guy. And together, and we'll go up and down. And then they'll complete the circle, going to the first llama, and up, and down. Good. And there's all tons of ways you can change up the toys. Give the dancers fun obstacles to dance at home when they're not taking class. Okay, last thing we're gonna do are little sautés in first and second position. And sautés are basic jumps. So the jump that we all learn first when we start ballet, well, other than frog jumps. So we'll start in first position. Hands on the hips. Your dancers can be a nice, beautiful turn out first position. Let's be careful that they're not rolling their feet over or doing the duck feather stance. Duck feathers down. Boop. We also don't want no tucking. Yes, we want that shoulder and hip connection. So dancers, we're going to do our jumps a little bit slowly today so that we can focus on your back placement and your feet placement. So what we're going to do is start a nice, beautiful stance. Shoulders down, not like this, And we're gonna go plie, and sauté, back to first, and up. Let's do 3 more, and plie, sauté, back to first, stretch those legs, and plie, sauté, back to first, and up, and plie, sauté, and up. Good. And if your dancer knows how to jump in second, they can continue on. Let's go out and step into second. Good. Again, parents, let's make sure that your child is not rolling their feet. Their feet are planted on the ground. And we'll go plie and up. And stretch those legs. And plie, sauté. And up. And plie, sauté. And up. And plie, sauté. And up. Whew. Well, very nice. Let's complete class with a reverence. So we'll start in Once again, first position, make sure you're able to see me. Arms in en bas. And we're gonna slowly bring the arms out just a little bit. And down. Again, let's pretend that we're moving our arms through water like we were earlier. Good. Let's take our right arm, open to second, and place down to en bas. And let's try to look at the palm. Follow the palm to the side and place. We'll bring our arms to first, to high fifth, if you can see. And we're gonna bury to the right and back to first. Now let's bury to the left and bury to the left and back to first. And dancers, you may bow or curtsy any way you like. Thank you for class. Okay. Oh, well, it was my pleasure teaching everybody today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just about 40 minutes, and yeah, this is a great way to start their day or maybe after dinner. We'll keep dancing, and we'll see you soon.